Hi guys, I'm gonna tell you about, well, first let me tell you the date. So today is July July 19, 2019. Is it the 19th? Let me go check the calendar. Yep, it is the 19th, and I'm just looking down at my watch. It is 4:40 37 or something like that. Yeah, 4:37, something like that. Anyway, so guys, I'm gonna tell you. I have like this list here with a few topics, so I'm just gonna pick which one to talk about first. Oh, by the way, guys, it was really hot today, and it's still really hot, and it's the humidity is really bad out there, so everybody has their air conditioners on, and um, like it's plus 20 right now. It's plus 26, and but earlier like around 12 o'clock, I think it was up to like plus 28, something like that. But with the humidity, it was like a lot hotter than that. I don't remember, but it was a lot hotter. And but the like it was very sofocante, like suffocating, like you can it's so, like it was really bad for anybody who has breathing problems and anybody who suffered from a heat stroke. It's very bad. It was really bad for people today, and it's still bad out there. So yeah, so anyway, so anyone who has breathing problems should not be out there, or any heat stroke, you shouldn't be out there in this kind of weather. Yep. Anyway, so but yeah, it's cooling down, but it's still bad outside. It's just the humidity that it's makes it bad. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about some slander again. Not some slander, but I'm going to talk about slander again. I just spoke about that recently, and I'm just going to talk about it a little bit more. Sorry, guys, my throat. I have to clear it up. So, guys, you know what? So this is what happens for whenever slander is being said about somebody else. For people who don't understand what slander means, first, this is how you spell slander. S for Samuel, L for love, A for apple, N for Nancy, D for door, E for Edward, R for Robert. Slander. Slander is whenever something bad is being said about a person or a group of people, or just any time when bad things are being said. Sorry guys, about slander. I mean, about anytime something bad is being said about somebody else, then that is slander, right? So that's when yeah, just bad things are being said. So yeah, so that's when yeah, anyway. Sorry guys, I'm going round and round in circles. I'm getting distracted because I'm looking like above where you guys can see, like you can't, where I'm looking above that part, because what I can see is all of Toronto with there's a lot of trees, like there's just, it's like a forest of trees, and way ahead you can see like other structures and buildings and houses, and like a far away. So that's why I was getting distracted. So guys, you know what? So you know, if we are going to be talking bad about people and expect for God to be happy with us, no, we are very mistaken. God is not happy when we talk bad about people. Even if we're mad at them, we can't talk bad about them. Just because if they say something bad about us, or if they do something bad to us, or if they do something bad to our families, or if they do something bad to our pets, or anything. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. There's something in, like a frog in my throat. So if I keep clearing up my throat, I'm just gonna ask you guys to forgive me, okay? Say forgive me in advance, so I don't have to keep asking you to forgive me. So it doesn't matter if somebody says something bad about us in any way, or if they do, I mean, if they do something bad to us in any way, we do not have permission to talk bad, to slander, because it really hurts God. And this is what happens when we talk bad about people. So I learned this example, not an example, but this is oh, what is it? I forget. I don't know the term. Okay, this is what it is like when we slander. Okay, sorry guys. So picture a lady, okay, a maid who is cleaning a house. Then she has to go to the bedroom, one of the bedrooms, and grab a pillow, and she has to shake it to remove the dust. So she will go to the bedroom, grab the pillow, and then she will go to the balcony of that home and go out to the balcony and start shaking and shaking and shaking the pillow, really, really shaking it. And she's just, all the dust is going. And then suddenly, while she's shaking the pillow accidentally rips open, and all the feathers inside start flying everywhere. And she's like, oh no, right? The feathers are flying everywhere. I have to grab them. So then she starts frantically grabbing as many feathers as possible. Hold on, I have to cough. Okay, so she starts to frantically grab as many feathers as possible, and she grabs as many as she can, and she's putting them back inside the pillow, and grabbing them everywhere. They're all over the air everywhere, and she's grabbing them and putting as many as she can, grabbing as many as she can, as fast as she can, putting them back into the pillow. But then she gets really sad. She starts just standing there, and she's sad because she was not able to grab all of the feathers. A lot of the feathers got away, so they floated away. They started floating away, and she was just standing there as she watched them float away in every direction. Some of them went to the east, some of them went to the west, and some of them flew down and just floated down. They just went in every direction. Some of them even went way up, and they just went with the wind, just blew them away. Feathers everywhere, and she just stood there watching as every feather was just escaping her, and they were just leaving in every direction. And she was just sad, so she had no other choice but to just go back into the house and continue working with, with whatever she had left in the pillow, right? And so, anyway, that's the end of the story. So I'm going to tell you what slander is like. It is like what happened to that lady. You see, when the lady grabbed the pillow to go and shake it out, it was completely full. It was a very, a pillow that was in a good condition. And the moment she started to shake it, when the pillow burst and the moment the feathers flew away, all those feathers are the represents the characters and the names and the reputations of people. Right? So then those feathers were escaping her, and she was not able to retrieve them. So the feathers went far, far, far away, and they just went so far away from her that she couldn't find them anymore. And wherever they landed, they're going to be destroyed, because they're going to get run over by a car. They're going to get walked all over. They're going to eventually disintegrate, because it's a biological thing, right? So they're going to turn into nothing in the ground. They turn into nothing. So in whichever way they will be destroyed, wherever they will land, the feathers are going to be destroyed. So this is what happens whenever we gossip, okay, which is slander. Slander is the same thing, gossip, right? So, but slander is a little bit more, it's more vicious, because that is a deliberate destruction of somebody's name. Gossip is like spreading any kind of negative news about anybody, or that's what it is. But slander is more destructive. So when those feathers got destroyed, which represents the person's names and characters and reputations, that's what happens whenever we when we slander and we gossip about people, those names get destroyed. So the person that we're talking, like when we are talking to somebody about somebody else, like for example, somebody did something bad to me, and then I will call up a friend and say, hey, you know what? So and so did this to me. Can you believe it? They are such a horrible person. I just don't understand what is their problem. You know what? They're such a ridiculous human being, and I just can't stand them. And you know what? I don't want you to hang around them anymore because they actually have a habit of doing these things, and they have a really ugly heart. So make sure that you tell your friends not to hang around this person because of what I saw and what they did to me. And then they called me up and they said these bad things. So make sure that you spread the news. Just tell everybody, warn everybody about this person. Okay, so guys, I was just slandering somebody. Now I'm just giving an example. I didn't really do this. This is just an example of slander. So now I have just destroyed the name of the person who hurt me. So now I am teaching another person to do the same thing. So now this person is going to call up somebody else and tell them exactly what I said. Right? They're going to say, so and so did this to Nancy, and da 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 da. You see, they did all this, all this, all this, all this, and now I want you to spread the news. Make sure you spread the news to this and who and all these people and so on and so on. So now my friend is now slandering, right? And so then that my friend will now tell those persons to spread the news, and then those persons will continue to spread the news. So every single person that the news gets spread to, is destroying the name and the reputation and the character, the personality of the person that hurt me. It doesn't matter if the person, if what the person did to me was real. Even if it was real, okay? This is the example that I gave is a scenario that a person really did something bad to me. So even if a person did something bad, even if it was real, it is still a wicked sin to spread this kind of news because that person's personality becomes destroyed and tainted, and it's like they're being dragged through a pool full of sewage. That's how horrific it is. That's the damage that we cause to people whenever we slander. Right? So do you understand now the example that I gave of the lady and the pillows? Right? So when the pillow burst open, all the feathers represented the people that we talk about. And for every feather that escaped the lady, that was slander traveling from one person to another. And for every single feather that got away, that represented the slander that we did to another person and that we cannot correct because the damage has been done, right? So, and then when the feathers get destroyed, like if they land for example, if they land on the street and then they start getting run over by cars over and over and over again, they get destroyed and until they turn into nothing. So that it represents the person's whole life being destroyed just because of the words of that were being said about them. That's how serious it is. Okay, guys? And so that's why slander is so dangerous. You see, listen, this is how God feels about slander. Okay, so for example, say you say something about somebody that you don't like, or somebody did something to you or said something to you that you don't like. And then you go off and start telling other people, look what they said, look what they did to me, right? And then even if you don't tell your friend, the person that you're saying this to, even if you don't tell them, to go tell other people, even if you don't tell them, not to say anything, that person, the chances are that they're going to talk. And that's how it's going to go and continue to spread. And God's heart is going to be so grieved. He's going to be hurt. What am I saying? You know what? I'm confusing myself. I'm getting distracted again because again I'm looking past the camera and I'm saying what I'm saying, but I'm also I'm looking at the trees way above and I'm getting distracted. So okay, let me start again. So if you say something bad about somebody, if you say something bad about somebody that's if you say something bad about something that's about a person who caused you harm, okay, about a person who caused you harm, and then that news gets spread, even if you don't tell your friend to spread the news gets spread, right? Like I said, it grieves God. Now, the reason why God doesn't want us to do slander is because he wants everybody's reputation to be preserved. So, for example, if you go ahead and start slandering a person, God doesn't even want for your name. He does not want your name to get destroyed. Like, so if you say something bad about somebody who did something bad to you, and then other people start to say, you know what, so and so is talking bad about Isabel because of what Isabel did to them, and I don't think that's right. So now, to get back at you, like to get back at them, now they're gonna start talking bad about you. I hope I didn't confuse you. Like what I'm saying is, if the slander that you were doing because of what somebody actually did to you, see, now that other people are hearing about what you're doing, so now those people are gonna start to slander your name, and they're gonna start to spread bad things about you. And even if it's like even if it's not true, like sometimes people who don't like you, they will add fictitious fictitious news, or like lies, just lies. They'll add lies to whatever they are now saying about you. So they'll say, pretend your name is Isabel or John. You see what Isabel or John said? They said this. So they will actually include the truth of what happened to whatever's happening to you, or whatever you said. And then they'll add lies. They'll add lies. Excuse me. Hi, Uma. I know. How are you? My cat is lying down next to my feet, and she just said hello, so I have to say hello. Hi, monkey. Okay, you go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Okay, now she lay her head again. Yeah, so you see, God does not want for people to talk bad about you just because you're talking bad about other people, because it hurts him. So do you understand? Like, even if somebody did something bad to you and you're going to talk about it, it doesn't mean that it's okay. And then people start talking bad about you. God now feels bad in his heart because of what people are doing to you. He doesn't want people talking bad about you, even though you're being bad to another person. It hurts him. So do you understand? You guys have to watch my videos for why I take long to talk, okay? Because I don't want to keep repeating myself as to why I take a long time. I'll just post that link so you guys understand why I take long. Well, you guys, you know what? In one of my videos, this lady, right? She posted. She said, "Wow, you need to stop recording. You take forever. You know, give it up." It was so funny, guys. But I didn't respond. I mean, I did not delete the comment. I just left it there. Yeah. It's just kind of silly for me to keep repeating myself why I take long to talk. I will do it sometimes. I will not repeat, but I will mention why I take long to talk. But for every video, no, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you either, you know, watch my videos for the way that I am, or you don't, you know, you can just move along if you don't like my videos because I take long. But anyway, I will post the link to why I take long in the description box. Yeah. That's another thing. You see, about three and a half years ago, the Lord Jesus told me to start recording messages to the church, and to start posting them. And in my mind, I was thinking, I was saying to myself, Lord, I take so long, and you still, like, I take long to express myself, and you still want me to produce videos and make videos and put them out there? And he said, I want you to start making videos and present them to the church. And I said, okay, Lord. Okay, I mean, you know this, you know what's going on with me, with why it takes so long, and you still want me to do that? And he said, create videos and post them for the church. And I said, okay, Lord. So I started doing that. Okay, guys, so I have a very, very good reason to make these videos, even though I take long. But one day, yeah, I will stop taking long, and then I'll be able to express what I want to say very clear and short, okay, and to the point. So in the meantime, if for some of you that don't mind, I thank you very much for continuing to watch my videos. And for those of you who do mind, well, what am I supposed to do about that? You can either stay or you can go. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so anyway, guys, so that's why it's so bad for us to slander. Yeah, so if you guys are doing it, just stop. And you know what, guys? Slander is really dangerous, right? Because it's the same thing as murder. Do you know that verse in the Bible where God says that the tongue has the power to give life and the tongue has the power to give death? Yeah. So you see, this is why we have to be careful. And also, there is also that verse where God says, by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. So you see, guys, how much we really have to hate slander. It doesn't matter how much we dislike a person. Learn how to, make it a habit to train yourself. Make it a habit to train yourself to hate slandering people and also gossiping. Okay? When God first told me, when he told me where I was going to end up, because I was gossiping about people and slandering people. Do you know how fast I changed my mind about slandering people? It was instant. It was instant for me. I no longer had a desire to gossip or slander, because there was a time when I used to talk bad about people. People that used to make me upset or mad, I used to say not nice things about them. You know? Yeah, I used to do that. And the thing is, I wasn't always like that. Just one day I started doing that, and then God grabbed my attention. And then when he told me where I was going to end up, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. Hell, I don't want to go there. I did not want to go there. So then I changed. I changed the condition of my heart. So that changed for me. And I hate slander. I hate slander and gossip, and I will not be a part of it. Nope. There have been people who used to know me for gossiping, and when they used to come around and they would try to gossip about whomever, I would say, I'm not taking part of it. And they would get mad at me. They would become furious with me because I would no longer partake in the conversation that they were doing to hurt somebody else's name. And they would always get mad at me. Every time they'd come around, they would get mad. And I would be very strong and say, I'm not going to do it. And there would be arguments, and I'd say, look, this is the reason why slander, and I said, gossiping, what you want to do is wrong. And I would tell them. And they would say, no, I do understand that, talking bad about people is wrong, but the reason why I have to say what I'm saying is so that other people can learn a lesson from the things that I'm saying. And I said, no, the reason why you are continuing to gossip is because you are fueled by it. It makes you feel good to talk bad about another person, not because you want to teach a lesson. It's because you love to talk bad about these people, and it makes you feel good, and you have a release. You have an energy release when you talk bad about another person. That's why you do it. The excuse of that you talk bad about these people to me and to others to teach a lesson to somebody, no, that is not, that is very inaccurate. I know why you're doing it, right? And it's because you love talking bad about these people and because you don't like them. And so, but the person, guys, even though I would tell them this, they'd still get angry and frustrated because I would refuse to join them in their gossiping. And eventually they got tired. They got tired of coming around and trying to get me to gossip with them. So, yeah. So guys, you know, just make sure that you don't gossip, because like the verses say, by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned, which means, you know, when we speak right about people, when we speak life into people, even if they're bad to us or bad to others that we care about, then God is going to honor us for that. He's going to reward us for that. He's going to protect us. But when we speak bad about others, then he is going to throw us straight to hell, because the words that we said were the ones that condemned us to hell. He didn't do it. He's giving us a clear warning in the Bible. And you know it too. For those of you who know what it says in the Bible, like that verse, right? About us being, acquitted and condemned. We know better, right? So if we're going to be going against it, then it's our own fault. It's our own fault. We have no excuse for why we did not know better on Judgment Day. Okay, so Judgment Day, for you guys who are still gossiping, you are condemning yourselves to hell. You're condemning yourselves to hell. And if you don't want to stop, then you will realize how sorry you will be on the day that God is, you are face to face with your Creator. And, you are just moments away from being thrown into hell, and then eventually into the lake of fire, because that's where all people that get thrown into hell eventually end up. It's a very scary thing, guys. So that's why, wake up for those of you who are slandering and gossiping, wake up. This message it's not by mistake that you came across this message. Wake up about slander and gossiping. Put an end to it. Stop it. Make it a practice to stop slandering. And if you have family and friends and relatives and whomever, even at work, wherever you go, your friends, if you know that they are gossipers, make it clear to them and say, look, this is what I have been convicted. I have been convicted of the dangers of slander and gossip, and I will not partake of it anymore with you. And if they start to laugh at you, you know what? Let them laugh, because they're not going to be laughing when God says, away from me. Off you go into the lake of fire. You're not going to be there. You're not going to be amongst those whom the Lord is going to say, go into the fire. You're not going to be one of those, but it's going to be the people that were mocking you for no longer slandering and gossiping about other people, because you don't want to lose what what you have in the Lord Jesus Christ for the sake, because you are being pressured. You don't want to lose what you have because you are being pressured by other people to continue to gossip. You don't let people pressure you or weaken your decisions to no longer gossip just because they're making fun of you. Guys, my camera is about to end. It's 29 minutes. I'm going to stop and then come back. No, it's 28 minutes. I'll be back.